Hi all, let's come back to the class. We'll start with the prayer. Okay. O God, the origin of all knowledge, bless all of us so that we may learn the subjects better and do our duties well. Good day to all of you. So, the last class you might have understood. What was it? Yes, about the forms of water. Forms of water, the properties of water you have learned. And water is a very essential source, isn't it? And from where do we get, which are the different sources from where we get water? Rivers, lakes, seas, oceans. Again, from where do we get actually the water is coming from? The main source is from the rain. Yes, so that is what you are going to see, water as a resource. And in the first part it is given about forms of water. Already you know that in the solid form, in the liquid form and in the gaseous form. What is water? Okay. Now we'll see the source of water. How do we get water? And how do the sea, rivers and all want water? It is mainly from the rain. Now we are going to see how is rain formed. That is what we are going to see. Yes. Now we have learned that this water, when we keep in an ice tray, what happens? In the freezer, ice tray, and we are putting in the freezer. After some time, it will change into ice. That is a solid form. That ice, if you are going on boiling, what happens to it? You can see some water vapor going up when it is heated. That is actually the water which is going in the gaseous form. And that steam, you have switched off the stove, and you are closing it with a lid. Closing it with a lid, and it cools down. You can see on that lid drops of water on it. Change. When it is cool, what happened? It had changed into again, that water vapor changed back to the water. Yes, same process is going on in the formation of rain. That is what we are going to see. How is rain formed? How is rain formed? So please look, how is it? Now, there are different sources from where we are getting water. Seas are there, oceans are there. Now, we feel very hot during the summer seasons, isn't it? During the sunny days and all, the water from the seas, oceans and all will go up. Like in the water in the stove boiling, same way the sun shines brightly. But we can't see it. But this will go in the water will go up in the form of water vapor, niravi, from the seas and oceans. Okay, so that is the first thing that is known as, and that process of, now we will draw here sea or ocean, water, that is as like this, and the sun is shining here very brightly. Okay, sun shines brightly. That time from this water, what is happening? What is happening? The water is going up in the form of water vapor. It's going in the form of water vapor. And that process of water, when it is hot, going up in the form of water vapor is known as, that process is known as evaporation. Yes. Now it reached up in the sky. The water vapor is reaching up in the sky. From the sky, it is cooling down. It is cooling down and it forms, when it is cooled down, what happens? It is changing back not as a water, it is changed back a big droplets of water in the form of clouds. That is the megha, clouds. Clouds are actually this cooled down water drops. Okay, when it reaches sky, it forms clouds. Okay. It forms clouds. If the water vapor is more, the clouds, the size also will be bigger. And that process of changing the water vapor into that clouds, when it is cooled, that process is known as condensation. That process is known as condensation. Now you understood it, yeah? Evaporation. Evaporation is the water, when it is heated, it is going in the form of water vapor to the sky. From the sky, it is changing, cooling down, cooling and forming into the clouds, and that process is called the condensation. And when there are more clouds, the clouds cannot hold them. that time, that water drops, it cannot hold the water drops in the form of the clouds for a long time. When it is heavy, so tight. So what happens? From there, clouds, it comes down in the form of rain, and that rainwater comes to your land. Comes to the land. That water will be flowing towards the sea, towards the ocean, towards the seas and all. Yes, that process of coming down of that water back to the earth, that process is known as precipitation. That process is known as precipitation. Okay. Understood that right? That is evaporation. This is evaporation. First one going up when the sun is to the sun's heat. The water is going in the form of water into the sky. That is known as evaporation. From there, what happens? Cools, the water vapor cools down and form water drops and form the clouds, and that is known as a condensation. When the clouds are not able to hold the water droplets, it comes back again to the earth in the form of rain, what is known as precipitation. Yes, and that water is again flowing to the river, seas, and this process is again continued. Yes, this process is coming back to the sea, again going to the up, coming back. That process is like a cycle. That's why it is known as, this process is known as water cycle. As it is a continuous process, this is known as water cycle. This is how rain is formed, the main source of water. The main source of water. That is known as it is a continuous process, it is known as the water cycle. Hope you have learned this in the smaller class also, isn't it? So this is water cycle, and this water cycle is given in your book to make your, so keep this in your mind, the picture, draw it and learn it so that you will understand very fast. The other two classes and all, I hope you are following, you are learning it. This also, again we have only a few more days for the examination, and we have 2 more chapters to complete, you know that. So ma'am will be going a little more faster than the other classes. We have to go up, we have to finish all the chapters, we can't skip any chapter, all those chapters are important. So this is the first one, how is rain formed. Now we are going to see, in the social class we have learned about what? Pollution, isn't it? Pollution. Water is a very important resource for drinking, bathing. There are many different uses of it. And what was it in the learned? Pollution. What is it? Yeah, by impurities. By putting impurities to it, you're dirtying the water or air. That is known as the pollution. That is what we are going to see in the next part. It is going to see impurities in water. How are these impurities? By what all things make the water impure? That is how are you making the water polluted? Other way you can see. Anyway you have learned it in the social class. How do you make the water polluted? Yes. In the olden times and even now, if there are rivers nearby and all, that ladies or they will go in the village areas. Many people will be passing their urine or putting aperture in the water. That if it is not going properly, it will be dirty. The water will be dirty. Or by putting the waste into it, plastic waste into it, or if the factories waste, chemical waste are there, the water is getting polluted. There are different ways how we are dirtying the water. Okay, and mud, plastic, all those are insoluble in water. It will not get mixed in the water. So what happens? It will be going on all these things. Yes, and if you are drinking it, what happens? If you are drinking that impure water, you will get diseases. So what will you do? Even with the well water, even now, whatever water you are drinking, you can't drink it without doing it. Purify it. So what you do? You are using the aquaguards, filters, or main purpose is what? Boiling the water and drinking. That is how you can waste to purify the water. Okay, so boiling water 10 to 15 minutes, or aquaguard, using the aquaguards, water purifiers, you can purify the water. This impurities and all already you have learned in the how are we impurities are added and all you have learned in the social class. That's why I'm not going on in that in detail because it is already learned. And how to purify the water by boiling the water. Boiling the water is main thing and drinking it. You have to kill the germs. Boiling is very good to kill the germs. Then another one is now water purifiers are there in your house. Maybe that is also another way to purify the water. Yes. Then in the wells and all, sometimes once in a year or once in a while and all, you can add chlorine to it in the water. And what is it? It can purify the water. That is another one. Adding chemicals like chlorine to purify the large amounts of water. That is the way you can purify the water. So till there you have to look for today. So with this I am stopping today's class. Some more part are there for the next class. So the other thing, impurities in water and reasons for impurities already you have seen in the, you know what is water pollution. That is impurities in water means water polluted by different ways, by adding waste to it. Our human beings are doing many things to pollute the water and all. Okay, that is already repeated. So go through the chapter once more. Thank you. Have a nice day.